as old as time, tune as old as song, barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. That's the channeled song that's coming through. And isn't that just precious? So you know I'm a sucker, romantic sucker. So you gotta send a channeled song like that through my ear? Yeah, I'm gonna pull on that. Shucks, that was sweet. What it makes me think of is the story of Beauty and the Beast. Because I've been channeling a lot of masculine energy, and the masculine energy comes through very Knight of Wands. And so, you know, and I'm talking about the Disney cartoon version from Once Upon a Time that I grew up with. And so, you know, the idea is that there's this prince who's vain and stuck up and thinks he's too good for everybody. And he's cruel to this witch that was haggard and ugly because she wasn't what he thought deserved any of his kindness. And so when he was cruel to the witch and didn't take her rose, then she transformed into this breathtaking sorceress and put a curse on him that he would look on the outside how he actually was on the inside. And so he became a beast. And he locked himself away in a castle for 10 years because he thought no one could possibly love him because that's the kind of person he was. And then along comes a bookworm who doesn't mind a little fuzzy creature and thus melts his heart with her own. That's the part I don't like about that story, honestly. That's the part that I'm changing in the book that I'm writing. Is I don't like the concept that like a man changes because of a woman's good love. I feel like embrace duality. I feel like there's a danger in putting the pressure of making a man a good man on the love of the woman. I think that really sets us up for overly codependent behavior that puts the blame on us for a man's misbehavior. And I feel like that's just like some misogyny, patriarchy bullshit that's just like in society, and it's just so embedded that we don't even notice it anymore. And I think that's what we're trying to rewrite right now, is this concept that we need somebody else to unlock the beautiful parts of ourselves. And while I do think that we can't sometimes see that part of ourselves without the mirror of another person helping us get there, I ultimately think it is not their love that causes you to love yourself. It's you. You learn how to love yourself. You learn that you're beautiful on the inside. And as you see the beauty that you hold, you're more easily able to see the beauty in others. And so I think that's the part that I wanted to write about in my story, because it has a love arc in there, was how my male main character unlocks parts of himself, but not because of the love of a good woman. It's because he finally, like, she demonstrates that skill and he's able to kind of like replicate it in his own way. He's able to feel safe enough emotionally so that he's able to go in and look at those dark neighborhoods that he's got inside himself and allow them to be seen and yet not define him. And I think that's what Beauty and the Beast is ultimately about. is seeing your beast and knowing that that doesn't define you, and neither did your beauty. It's always something different than your human avatar. We're so much more than the sum of our parts. Finding you can change, learning you were wrong. I think ultimately that's what this message is about. Somebody realizing bit by bit, slowly, because I can feel that this is a person that really doesn't want to learn this lesson. But bit by bit, you can start seeing it. You see that it doesn't matter how beautiful somebody is on the outside. What really matters is what's going on the inside. I think you're starting to see it. You're starting to see that ordinary people can be more beautiful than the most cosmetically altered to perfection human that you may come across in your day-to-day life. You know, like, we are inundated with images of celebrities changing the way they look to become some sort of imagined ideal, with overly large lips and cheekbones, and eyes that don't blink or frown anymore. And like, they're trying to teach us that that's beautiful, but we know better. And so do you. And you're being able to see that now. You're being able to see that, like, somebody ordinary, like even right now, when you're looking at me, have I become more beautiful to you in the moment that I've been talking to you? It's because you're starting to see something more than just my flesh suit. You're starting to see me coming through to you. And all of a sudden it's like, my eyes are prettier. Or you like the shape of my mouth. Or something about me seems alluring. That's what it feels like to connect with somebody's soul. That's what it feels like to resonate with another human's vibration. They just become beautiful in your eyes. And they do in yours. That's why you need to express your authentic self. Because if you're a mask, we can't see that. The authentic souls that exist out here, we need you to express your real self. Because if you're not, then we can't be with you. If you're not able to access who you truly are and have that be your reality, we can't trust you. We're not going to be with you, no matter how much you crave a connection with a deeply intuitive soul. You know, it's like, what's her name from Beauty and the Beast? Belle? Is she a Belle? I don't know. All the princesses kind of blur together sometimes. But I like her because she's a bookworm. You know, she's introverted. She's in her own little world. And she's just herself. Like everybody, I remember in the beginning of the movie, everybody's like, she's so strange. She's just being herself. And in a world where a lot of people are performing, that can seem really rare. But I would hope that it's not so rare in the future. I would hope that we could all just be amazing wildflowers. I'm just going to pull one little card, since I've just talked this entire time. Some people call it channeling. I don't think so. I mean, like, I guess it is. It is sort of channeling. Like, I can feel it. Not to get too woo-woo, but The venom, the beast. The beast. We all have it. We all have the beast. We all have the beast. I just posted something today about, being like overly competitive and aggressive. I know that about myself. But it's also one of the parts about myself that I like the most. I like that I can come off so sweet and innocent. But you get to know me and you realize I have claws. I have a sharp tongue and an even sharper mind. And you realize that everything I do is deliberate, even when I don't even realize it. Sometimes I fumble my way into success. And I've fumbled my way into success enough times to allow myself to fumble my way. Like, that has been one of the biggest messages I've been getting over the last year is surrender control of the outcome. Align yourself to your most authentic version, and then you don't have to think about it too hard. You're just shooting from the hip most of the time. And because you're in alignment with yourself, you don't ruminate over the shit that happens because it was in alignment with you. You feel good about it. The box. This is that idea that you're this gem of a human, your soul, and then every line around this box is the pressures of society, of the world that we live in. That, you're male or female, that you're white or brown or black or whatever, that you're in America or in another country, that you are of a certain income level, that you are of a certain demographic of people, that blah, 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 blah. All these things, your mom, your wife, your blah, 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 sister, daughter, etc. All those things, husband, son, coworker, all those labels, all those obligations, all those burdens, all those things that box ourselves in so that we are consistent for the people and things around us. And the box is asking to break out. There's the beauty inside the beast. This is what you really are. And this is what the world has made you. The shapeshifter. Exactly. So it's like there's this dichotomy between who you are and who you appear to be. Boop. The bardo. It's time to see. It's time to truly see not just other people, but yourself. Realize that you may be the prince, and life maybe gave you a witch with a rose, someone that you thought was unworthy of your time, of your energy, but it was a gift from the universe. It was a gift from God. And now you feel like a beast in your own life. You feel distorted. Nothing fits right. And all your friends have disappeared. This is your lesson. But unlike the movie, don't just hide away for 10 years, assuming that nothing will go right. You're the savior of your own story. You are the one who chooses whether or not you can transform into something even more beautiful than you were before. you save yourself. But you're never alone. Never think that you're alone. I love you.